Hi there guys, my name's Jacob and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, as the title suggests, is our obsession with cars holding us back? Now, you might find this concept a little bit strange to begin with, but hear me out. So I've had 3 separate conversations this week, one with my brother and 2 others were with a friend and a colleague at work. And I came to the same conclusion after each conversation. Now, these conversations revolved around the other person telling me that they can't afford to do a certain thing. So, for instance, with my brother, we were discussing the fact that I've just moved house. And if you've been watching the channel, you'll know that already. But when we were discussing moving house, my brother kind of explained to me that for one reason or another, he doesn't feel he can afford to move house right now, even though he would really like to. Now, the other conversations I had revolved around travel. And both the friend that I was talking to and the colleague at work, we were discussing holidays we've been on and holidays we want to go on in the future. And both the friend and the colleague both told me that at the moment, travel for them is off the table because, again, it is just not affordable. Now, that's fine. I understand that these things are expensive. Moving house is expensive and travel is expensive, and I get that. And in the cost of living crisis that we're all living through at the moment, you know, spare money is hard to find for the average person. And again, I understand that. I'm living through this too. But one thing that just gets me every time is the people that are saying they can't afford these things earn the same amount of money as I do. They just spend their money differently. And in the 3 cases I am talking about, these 3 people have expensive car payments that they pay every month. The friend and the colleague have a £400 and £450 a month car payment. And my brother currently has a payment of £800 a month for his car, which you might be wondering what it is. It's a Tesla. Obviously, they are all the rage at the moment. Very popular, but very expensive. So, as you can see, £400, £450 and £800 a month. And yet these people are saying they can't afford to do certain things. Now, I don't know whether you agree with me, but I think that if you take away those car payments, these people can then suddenly do these things. You could afford to travel if you didn't have the £400 car payment or the £450 car payment. And I would argue that my brother could afford to move house if he had an extra £800 in his pocket every month. And that is doable if they just get rid of these fancy cars that they pay for every month and just had a regular, you know, used car, a few years old, that they paid for in cash. And this is doable. But our obsession, and I say our obsession, society, certainly not my obsession, but society's obsession with owning or leasing a brand new luxury car because of status, because of what your friends and family might think. God forbid that you drive a 10-year-old car and it looks awful. I mean, God forbid you do that. Even though it costs you nothing and is helping you financially move forward and do things in life like travel, buy a house, you know, all these good things that you want to do. But owning a luxury car or renting, leasing, whatever people do these days, that is quite evidently holding people back by making progress, by enjoying life. You know, is owning a car that's taking away these opportunities, is it really worth it? Are you getting such a kick out of driving that car that you would happily give up travel or give up, other things that you could be spending that money on? You know, would you give up the fact that you could have your dream house if you had that money, but no, you'd rather drive a nice car? Is it really worth it? Now, if you ask me, I don't think so. I don't think driving a nice car, and don't get me wrong, you can drive a nice car just because it's a used car or an older car that you bought for cash. That doesn't mean it isn't a nice car. There are still nice cars out there to be bought at an affordable price. But what you don't need to do is buy a brand new car or lease a car with 4, 5, 6, £800 a month payments. This is unaffordable for 90% of people if you want to do other things in life. If all you want to do is stay at home but have a brand new car on the drive, then I guess that's what you want to do, and more power to you. But I think people watching this channel are people like myself, people who want more from life, people who are searching for ways to become financially stronger, retire early, ways to save money, ways to get ahead in life. People watching this channel, I think, want to be different than the regular person, because that is what I feel I want to be. I want to live a life that's slightly different to the regular person, one that I can be financially free at some point. It doesn't mean I'm financially free now, far from it, but I'm certainly on my way, and I'm certainly making choices that help me on that journey, not hinder me. And, renting or buying an expensive car is certainly not part of the equation when it comes to, making good, sound financial decisions. So it's just something to think about today, guys. If you are someone sat there thinking, I can't afford this, I can't afford that, I wish I could go on this day out, I wish I could do this, trip abroad with friends or family, I'd love to move house, but it's just not affordable. If you're someone saying that, and yet you have an expensive car payment, think about it. That car payment is potentially the reason that you cannot do these extra things that you want to do. And you have to sit there and ask yourself the question, is it worth it? Or would you rather get rid of the car, maybe have a cheaper car that you buy in cash, and then free up that monthly money to go and do these things that you want to do? But that is a question that only you can answer. I'm just bringing the question to the forefront and hope that you give it some thought and maybe make a different decision going forward. But right, guys, that is the end of today's video. If you would like to support the channel, please consider hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, and I also now have a link that I will add in the description below that says buy me a coffee. And it's quite simple. It's just a little tips jar where if you want to contribute to the channel in a little bit more of a way than just liking and subscribing, then you can leave a small donation just to say thank you for creating the video. And also it would just go a long way in helping me get equipment for the channel, upgrade the channel, better video, better sound, that type of thing. So if you'd like to help out in that way, I would be super grateful, but there is no pressure whatsoever. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.